Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am reviewing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation in the color CooL Beige. This foundation just came out about a week ago and they are pretty affordable. They run at about $25 and there are over 24 shades in the range, and each shade has its own undertone. So they have various undertones from blue, cool, cool red, cool neutral red, warm, warm olive, and warm neutral. I think I repeated that last one twice. Anyway, with that being said, one of the new undertones that Anastasia took their time to develop was the warm olive. Now mine is actually under cool neutral, which now that I think about it, that might have been where I effed up on the shade, just because I feel like the shade is slightly too light and it does have slight pink undertones, whereas I'm more of a warm undertone. So maybe I should have gone with the natural or the warm natural, which is a warm olive color. So I think that's where I may have effed up. If you can tell, obviously it doesn't really match. Like, it does, but it doesn't. I had to bronze up a little bit in order to get it to match my skin tone, but I was basing my shade selection off their Snapchat. Initially I was actually going to order golden, but when I saw the Snapchat it was slightly too yellow or orange, and so I ended up going with I think I just got something delivered and they didn't ring the doorbell. I hate when they do that because then it leaves packages outside for my mom to find and like make me feel guilty. The foundation does have over 20 shades, so I think it's amazing. I think no matter what your skin tone is, I think that you're going to be able to find a shade. It'll be available early September in Ulta stores, and I'm not sure if it'll be at Sephora. I'm pretty sure it'll be like an Ulta exclusive. Don't quote me on that, however. With that being said, this foundation promises to be natural, matte, and it was created and intended for people with oily skin. This foundation was developed for you to be able to find a highlight, a contouring, and a foundation shade. Now, I only bought a foundation shade just because I really wanted to try out the formula before, you know, I invested in a contouring shade, which this might end up being like a highlighting shade for me and honestly the shade actually matched my concealer, so I was like, damn. With that being said, it is medium buildable coverage and it is a natural matte finish, and without wasting any more time, I'm just gonna go ahead and insert the demo before giving you my conclusions towards the end of this video. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay guys, so the only thing I did was moisturize, and I did prime my face. However, I used the Too Faced Hangover Primer, which is a moisturizing primer, so I'm not putting anything mattifying on my skin other than the foundation. So really and truly, you're really going to see the wear of the foundation. So with one side of my face, I'm gonna go ahead with the Beauty Blender, and with the other side, I'm gonna go ahead with the brush. I'm gonna go ahead and do the Beauty Blender side first because it's always the side that, you know, you really find out the coverage and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my stick foundation in the color CooL Beige, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of, I don't really know how to go about this. I already have some foundation on my eyebrows, but that's about it. It's kind of hard to kind of swipe. It's not a very super creamy formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Beauty Blender and go ahead and blend in the foundation. So after blending in the side with the Beauty Blender, I have to say guys, I absolutely hate it so far. Hopefully the brush works out so much better because it's a very light coverage right now. I know it's supposed to be super buildable, so I'm gonna go ahead and test that out in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and use the brush to see if the Beauty Blender is taking away coverage or what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and again. So now I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna go ahead and blend it in. So I went ahead and applied the foundation with the brush, and I have to say that the coverage is so much better. However, it's still almost reaching medium coverage, but not really. So I'm gonna go ahead and layer it on. I've officially just omitted the Beauty Blender. I just feel like the Beauty Blender is not gonna get you any coverage with this. In terms of just using it as a foundation, I don't recommend the Beauty Blender, especially unless you have flawless skin. I don't have flawless skin, so this is not gonna work out. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and take a second layer of foundation, and this time I'm strictly using just the brush. Putting it right here on my cheeks just because that's where I need the most coverage. I will say though that there are some areas of my face that don't need too much coverage. So my forehead is fine as is, slight blemishes peeking through, but it's not horrible. This foundation isn't, you know, full coverage, so I'm not expecting that. But I am expecting it to be buildable like they claim. And it's definitely buildable, guys. I definitely liking the coverage I'm starting to see. So yeah, the brush just does so much better coverage. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. I'm actually taking my brush and spraying it with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water just because to soften the bristles, because I find that a wet brush actually blends foundation in better. So the coverage is actually way better. I have to say though guys, this shade is like way too pale for me. I feel like the undertone is just wrong. I was having a hard time picking a shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and layer on a third layer just to see. I feel like 2 layers already is just medium coverage. I don't think that this is a full coverage, but because they say it's buildable, let's try to see if I can build some coverage up. I am breaking out right now because I'm prescribed to Adderall, and so Adderall actually makes me break out. I had to stop taking it over the summer. That's probably why, if you noticed that my skin was getting better, that's probably why. Anyway, just taking my brush again. I'm tapping it into place. Okay guys, so that is 3 layers of the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. The shade is kind of off for me. Not impressed with the shade, but that's my fault. I mean, it's not like I went into a store and picked one out. As y'all can see, my neck is slightly warmer than this. I'm probably gonna have to go with like a warm beige or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I finished applying the rest of my makeup and I will be back in a couple of hours. It is now 4:04 in the afternoon and I will be back in a couple of hours to show you how the foundation is wearing. And yes, I did do full face because today's one of those days where I'm posting on Instagram, so yeah, stay tuned. Hey guys, so it's now 7:10. It's been about 3 hours since I initially put on the foundation, and so far it's wearing pretty good. I will say though, I can see that my nose, like if I close one eye, I can see my nose, or the tip of my nose. My nose is starting to get oily on the center of my nose, and slightly right here underneath, next to my nose, but my forehead is doing pretty good. So to fix the oiliness on my nose, I'm just gonna go ahead and tap away with my blotterazzi. Like so. Now, the only thing I do have to say, guys, is that when I blotted, it did take away some of the coverage on my nose. So I am going to go ahead and reapply just a slight bit because it was fine before I blotted. Once I blotted, it took away some of the coverage, which is kind of rare for the blotterazzi to do that. It could just be that I didn't set it correctly earlier. But so far, overall, it's wearing pretty well, just my nose. And like I said, I did use a moisturizing primer, so that could just be what's going on with my nose. But other than that, everything looks great. So yeah, guys, I'll be back in a couple of hours to check back in with you. So stay tuned. Hey guys, so it's 10:30 at night. It's been started at 4. So it's been about 6.5 hours since I initially put on the foundation, guys. And I have to say the foundation it doesn't feel bad on the skin. However, it's one of those foundations where like after long periods of time, you kind of feel it on your skin. This is definitely not, and it could be that because I layered it, you know, 3 times on my skin, that it's giving me this effect to where like it's kind of heavy. I think this is a great foundation if you have oily skin. I think that it'll wear nicely because even looking at myself now, I'm not really that oily, just on my forehead and a little bit on my nose. Other than that, the foundation still looks good. It's not breaking apart anywhere, except maybe slightly on my chin, but I do tend to hold my chin. With that being said, the foundation did hold up nicely for 6 hours, and I'm kind of just gonna conclude this video. The pros to this foundation is that it's small. Like, look at this, it's tiny. It's basically slightly bigger, slightly thicker than a lip gloss. I think it's great coverage because it is buildable, and I think it's just so easy to carry around in your purse. I think this is great if you're on the go just because it's so easy to apply and blend. Like, I feel like this would have really come in handy when I was late to class. Like, just take this, a bronzer, and some eyebrow pencil, and I'd be good to go. The cons to this, I just feel like it didn't wow me. I don't think it's like amazing or you absolutely need this, but I think this is great for contouring, highlighting, and, you know, foundation on the go. So I do think it's a great product, but I'm not like blown out of the water. So Do I think that you should buy it? I think that if you need a good highlighting shade and a good contouring shade, I think you should definitely do this. If you're looking for like a holy grail foundation, this is probably not gonna do you justice. So keep that in mind. Other than that, guys, I do give this foundation a thumbs up just because I do feel like, and this is if you can splurge, not something that you need to go out and buy, but if you need some sort of highlighting shade, or if you don't like the Anastasia cream palette or any type of like cream contouring palettes, I think this is a great alternative, and I think it's kind of affordable. It's $25 and you do get a lot of product. Like, look at that, guys. And you don't need a lot to like really cover your entire face. So if you're just using it for highlighting and contouring, I think this is great because it will blend out to your skin and it looks fabulous. But yeah, guys, that's all I really have to say about the foundation. I wish I could be more detailed about it, but I'm not blown away, but I don't think it's a bad product. So am I keeping it? Yes, because I did like it. I think I'll use it for like highlighting, like I said. Wasn't blown away. So with that being said, guys, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos from me personally, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you add me on Snapchat and Instagram at DGAFpanda to keep up with other beauty looks that I'm doing daily. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you comment down below if you watched this video all the way to the very end what your favorite contouring and highlighting products are. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, guys, DGAFpanda out.